John W. Davis here with James Clark, the Press Telegram Dream Team Baseball Player of the Year, Trinity League MVP. How do all those honors sound to you?
I mean, it's great. I think it's very rewarding, having the type of year that I had. I think that I did something big this year, and to get all the awards, it really means a lot.
How does somebody hit 400 when the bulk of their games are Trinity League and Division I playoff games? Talk to me about that.
I think it just really comes down to a lot of focus. I know that I'm talented, but just going out there and focusing, putting it all out in the game, I think that's where it really comes down to, just staying locked in all the time.
Your coach is also being honored, Coach Rojo. Why do you feel like he's worthy of being the Press Telegram Dream Team Coach of the Year?
I mean, I think he's definitely deserving. He turned this program around once he came in. He won the championship both of his years. And so I think he's really done a great job of developing the team. And so I think he's very deserving of the reward.
What is it like to transfer into a school and become a part of the Brotherhood?
It was different at first. I come into an unfamiliar environment. I only knew one kid here, but everybody was very accepting. They treated me as family. And so coming in here, doing big things, it feels great.
Who was the person you knew?
Noah Everly.
Okay, so you only knew Noah?
That was it.
And then you came with your brother. Why do you feel like this team was so successful this year? You've had a couple of days to kind of think about it.
Mm-hmm. I think mainly it came down to our pitching staff was great this year. We had big players, so they would make big time plays, come through in clutch moments. We had really great defense this year, saved a lot of runs, so I think that was probably a big part.
And another thing that you and I talked about after the regional championship game, we were talking about when did you feel like this team had the potential to do what it did? Now that you had a little bit more time to think about that, can you kind of pinpoint when you feel like this team truly showed that they were on the path to, winning these championships?
I feel like it was probably after our first series in Trinity League. We came out, we swept Olu, so we got off to a hot start. That really built our confidence, and so we just started thinking, we were like, yeah, we can really do this thing.
This was a year where people knew your team was talented, but they weren't really looking at you to, win Trinity League. I think a lot of people probably thought that was an upset. They definitely weren't looking at you to win Division I because you had to play Corona. A lot of people considered that an upset. When you got to regionals, you're the #1 seed, so you took care of business. But, how do you feel like the team approached being, the underdog in some of these things?
Coming in during the fall and doing all our workouts and games, practices, I think I could tell that we might have had one of the deepest 1 through 9 lineups in the country. And so we always felt we were super talented, but we always wanted to go out there and prove ourselves. So going out there, beating some of the top-ranked teams, beating great competition, it just really sparked our confidence, and we kept it going.
And one of the great things about this team is that most of the position players are coming back. What are you looking forward to doing next year with, when everybody's going to be seniors? And
we always we'll probably try and end our high school careers on a high note. We want the same thing, more championships. So we can't go into next year being satisfied. We got to stay hungry for more.
And what do you credit your progression sophomore to junior year?
I'd say the environment that I was in, and then just self-confidence, just growing, getting stronger, working out, putting in hours and hours of practice. And then I think the environment here in this team is very loose, caring, and so they really care about you. They take the time to help you individually. They get to know each and every one of their players, the coaches here. And so I think just being in a loose environment, being able to just be myself, I think that really helped.
And to finish the season with 30 wins, what does that mean to you? We'll finish up on that.
I mean, that was great. Coming in here, we just got to go out and execute every time. I feel like we were a very talented team, but just being able to be out on the field and actually win the games and show everybody who we are, that was great.
All right, cross that home plate one last time for me. That's a place you're very familiar with, huh?
A little bit.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.